Hi guys, how's it going? Shelby Kushma here. This is your second video in the Intuitive Healing and Spirit Awareness Development course. So in the first video, this is Talk to the Entities, video 2. And in the first video, I talked a little bit about my experience with working with entities, what entities are, and what we want to do with them. And in this video, I want to get into specifics about actually what to say and do to clear them, or to get messages from them, or to release them. So the first thing that I want to talk about is working with entities and fear. So if you have a lot of fear around the word entity, if that comes up for you as like, I'm scared when I hear the word entity, everything and anything that you have judgments, expectations, separations, rejections, and conclusions about what entities are that are causing fear in you, can we please uncreate and destroy that? Yes? Okay. Right, wrong, good, bad, pot and pock, all nine short boys and beyonds. And that is the Access Consciousness Clearing Statement. That is not something that I made up. That is through accessconsciousness.com. And you can go to their website, accessconsciousness.com/clearing statement, and you will find out what that means. So what that basically does is it clears out the energy that comes up when we talk about entities, we talk about fear. Anything that causes fear, anything that we cannot comprehend or goes beyond our realms, it blasts it out, it clears it. So all of the fear and the limitations and the projections and the separations you have around working with entities and actually it being a contribution to your life, can we please uncreate, destroy that? Yes? Great, right, wrong, good, bad, pot and pock, all nine short boys and beyonds. Cool. Okay, so I want to talk about what fear actually is. And fear, because when we work with entities, we really have to understand and get out of the projections of fear. Fear is just a distractor implant, and it is actually, fear is covering up your potency. So everywhere that you're using fear to cover up your power and your potency, can we please uncreate and destroy that? Yes? Right, wrong, good, bad, pot and pock, all nine short boys and beyonds. Cool. Okay, so let's see. All of the potency that you are refusing, can we uncreate, destroy that, please? And all the potency and the power that you are refusing and all your abilities that you are ignoring, that if you didn't ignore, you would actually have greater awareness on how to work with entities. Yes? Right, wrong, good, bad, pot and pock, all nine short boys and beyonds. Cool. Okay, so let's get into the three things that we do with entities. So, and I'll send you guys an email that's got this written down, typed up. So 3 things: we clear, or we communicate, or we receive. Okay. Usually if we're clearing an entity, we're not communicating with it really that deeply, and we're not receiving from it. So I'm going to talk about clearing. First off, if you feel like you've ever felt or seen an entity, you probably have. Have you ever had those moments where you're like, oh, I feel like chills on my back, or I feel like somebody's, in the room and they're looking at me, or I like see kind of a shadow going across and you're like, what is that? Okay, so you probably have. Like I said, entities are just like people, they just don't have bodies. Not many of them can really actually show up in form. A lot of people don't have the ability to actually see them. Sometimes they can show up in dreams, or sometimes people say, I actually had my grandmother who crossed over come to me. That can happen, but it's not common. So usually they are making themselves aware by their energy, right? So when you get afraid, because you feel an energy, you're actually feeling the energy of that entity. You're actually feeling how that entity feels all the time. That entity is scared, and you're picking up on the energy. Just like if you were to go to a movie theater and sit next to somebody who was super anxious, and you could kind of like feel that energy. It's not that you're anxious. It's not that that's causing that. It's that you're feeling that person's anxiousness. So it's the same thing with entities. And like I said, they can be sad, happy, conscious, unconscious, annoying, mad, sad. There's the spectrum. They run the spectrum of energies and emotions as well. So if you feel an energy, you're feeling its anxiousness, it's making you anxious. Number one, clearing statement. Clearing statement is return to whence you came, never to return to me, this space, my body again. Return to whence you came, never to return to me, my space, this body again. Return to whence you came, never to return to me, my space, this body again. So you say it 3 times. And usually the energy will clear within a few seconds or a few minutes. If the energy doesn't clear, then we go on to step 2. And step 2 is communicating. So the entity, if it doesn't clear in the first round, might need a little more assistance. And this can be due to the entity doesn't know that it has died. So in traumatic experiences, sudden deaths, suicide, children that have died, what else do we work with here? It can also be unconscious entities. They actually don't know that they've died. So they might need a little more assistance in releasing them. And so the second is communication, and it's a little longer statement. And the first part of it is, who are you? And who were you before that, and before that, and before that, and before that? And who could you be in the future? And you don't have to get an answer. This is a clearing, okay? So it's giving the entity a choice and an opportunity and an awareness to go, oh, wait a minute. Who was I before that and before that and before that? So you don't have to figure it out. You just say it, okay? The second is, what are you? And what were you before that and before that and before that and before that? And what could you be in the future? And the third is, what is your job? And what was your job before that and before that and before that and before that? And what could your job be in the future? And then take a deep breath, exhale it out, and you'll feel usually in a few seconds to a few minutes, the energy dissipates, okay? And I just want to say this is a huge contribution to this entity, to this energy, for you to give it an awareness so that it can make a choice to leave, to go on to, the other ethers that it needs to go to have its process to move on. The third thing that we do with entities is we actually can receive from them. So if you find that the first clearing statement doesn't work, the second clearing statement doesn't work, and it's still kind of hanging out, it might have a message for you or someone else around you. So the first thing that you can ask is, are you here from me or someone else? Okay, and you might get an awareness that you are supposed to deliver a message to someone else. I've had this happen a few times. If it is for you, then you can say, okay, I'm aware, I'm here. What message do you have for me? What do you need from me? How can I help you? Okay, and see if you get some sort of awareness. This could actually be a gift. This could be ancestors who have crossed over, who are trying to help you, to make themselves known to you. There's many different ways we can receive. And receiving from entities, usually those entities are kind. They're generous, especially if you've done the first 2 clearing statements. When you get to the receiving point, it's like, wow, I'm very honored to be able, that you're communicating with me, that you're giving me this awareness. Because entities don't give just anybody awareness. They're not going to go to an unconscious person and be like, hey, notice me, because they're not there. So it's actually, it's an honor to be recognized and to have entities coming to you for assistance. It means that you have abilities and that you have a sense of awareness through the 3D and to these other realms that not a lot of people have. Okay, so those are the 3 things: clear, communicate, and receive. I will just quickly mention that there are sometimes contracts. If nothing works, then you could have a contract with an entity, and this could be from a past life. This could be an agreement that you made with an energy in a past life, pre-birth, okay? So just know that if nothing clears, then you might want to ask, do I have a contract or an agreement with this entity? And if I do, I would like to clear it now. If it's not serving me, for my best and highest good in this lifetime. Okay. So make sure that you're bringing in the contracts and the agreements part. Make sure we've got everything here. Yeah. So all of the ways that you are uninviting your power and your potency and your ability to clear entities. Can we please uncreate and destroy that now? Yes, right, wrong, good, bad, pun, poc, boys and beyonds. And everything and anything that doesn't allow you to actually communicate with entities with ease and grace. Can we please clear that? Right, wrong, good, bad, pun, poc, boys and beyonds. Yes. Wonderful. So I hope that this helps, and happy clearing, happy communicating with the entities.